Gabriel Jesus has returned to London Colney. Remember, he had left after that game of Manchester United to go out to see to it that he really finds himself a better position to really rehabilitate himself and really get back to the levels we know that he requires himself to be, to see to it that he really overcomes that injury that he really got in the World Cup. And obviously he flew overseas to continue his rehabilitation, and now he's returned to London Colney to take a major step forward on his road to recovery. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? Rokan David is my name. Smash the like button, comment and share. Third story of the day, and more is yet to come. Though United is going to play Leeds, I'm going to be live on United Matters channel in the next 10-15 minutes. I'm going to be there as we discuss that game of football. So don't forget to like this video, smash the like button close to 100 to 200 times, and let the video go viral. Zinchenko has gone ahead to win Arsenal Player of the Month award of February, and he has beaten Odegaard and Kante, who scored in very many goals, by the way, in the month of January. It shows you how much fans of Arsenal are so much into Zinchenko. And then lastly, Kante has snubbed the new contract of Chelsea that they are planning to give him, to see to it that they tie him to the club for more 2 years, because they feel like they need his services. And everyone will ask himself, why would a club like Chelsea that has brought in Enzo Fernandez, in for Declan Rice and Caicedo and very many others, go in and spend more money on a player who is injury prone and he's already in the early years of his third decade? And why should they go in for him? That is the big question that everyone is asking himself. But as it stands, this is the channel, and let's get into what we are talking about right now. The first person to report this story was Saxon71. I don't know, people are really having loads and loads and loads of sources now. Saxon71 told us that Gabriel Jesus is back at London Colney after his rehab training time in Brazil. So, Gabriel Jesus flew to Brazil to undergo a rehab training there because he believes that maybe there are some other doctors that can really help him heal early enough. Those countries like Brazil are really having those natural healers who really help these players to really get these injuries off their career and return early back in time. Now, we as Africans, we know that in Brazil, people still believe in their ancestors, and you never know, he might have gone back home to talk to the good spirits of his tribe and clan to see to it that they really see him return big and better with a lot of fitness, and to see to it that he really heals, because you don't know the cults, or sorry, not the cults, you don't know the traits of the cultures where these players coming from. Maybe they told him that you have to go to Brazil and do the needful, or else there is a doctor that is in Brazil that can help Gabriel Jesus onto that recovery. Because you remember Robin van Persie, while still at Arsenal, he went to Netherlands. That's it. He went to Netherlands, and I think he sometimes flew to Kenya, because there was a healer that could help Robin van Persie overcome that back pain and the knee, because the two injuries that distorted the career of Robin van Persie a lot were his back and his knee. And remember very well that he reached an extent of going to a natural healer in a traditional healer, not a natural healer, a traditional healer in Netherlands, who used to treat people using the placenta of a donkey. You remember that very well. I think you remember that story very well. So that is how players really sometimes really stretch beyond their limits to really heal early enough. So in the situation where Jesus is, he wants to find himself very, very fit as soon as possible, because he knows the sooner he returns, the sooner they seal off the title race at Arsenal. That's it. Because if he returns early in time, Arsenal is going to be winning more games, because he's going to be a threat, as he offers a lot of playing space and creativity to the team of Arsenal. Then, after that gentleman coming out and retailing us that, then Charles Watts, the correspondent, Then Charles Watts, the correspondent of Goal, or the Arsenal correspondent for Goal, came out and really told us the following about Gabriel Jesus and his return. He told us that Arsenal striker Gabriel Jesus has returned to London Colney on Tuesday. Charles Watts reports he's now able to do some light ball work on the training pitch, although the key focus of his recovery at the moment is on continuing to strengthen his knee. Now, that means even when his personal instructor posted that video of Jesus running, I think he was down in Brazil trying to run from that side. And when did he fly to Brazil? After the game of Manchester United, when Arsenal beat Manchester United by 3-2. And he said, all right, Arsenal is going to be playing away at Everton, so let me go to Brazil. I'll come back at Emirates when Arsenal is facing Brentford the next weekend. So, as things stand, it really looks like everything is really rosy for Gabriel Jesus, and he is working to strengthen his knee. He's doing light ball work on the training pitch, and obviously he wants to get back to his feet. Remember, we are told that Jesus is expected to return on the 25th of February when Arsenal is playing Leicester City, meaning that he's just one step away from really getting back to team training, because he's doing grass work, he's doing the light football work and strengthening his knee. The moment the knee is approved to be strengthened, that means he's really going to be back fully fit to play for the team of Arsenal. And that is the best news that every Arsenal fan would like to hear in the situation where fixtures are coming in thick and fast. Even that of Everton that was not played in September when the Queen passed on has been rescheduled to be played on the 1st of March. That's going to be a Wednesday, 2023. And you would love to see Jesus back in such games. You know, he's a fighter, he never gives up, and the energy he puts out onto the field of play, none of those Arsenal players can really match it. So when you look at Charles Watts, he has really gone ahead to really tell us about Gabriel Jesus, and obviously that is it, that he wants to strengthen his knee and see himself really return. Then Charles Watts told us that Jesus' first day back at London Colney Training Centre was on Tuesday, with the 25-year-old now following a carefully mapped out fitness plan alongside the club's medical team, with the aim of returning to action at some point next month. He's now able to do some light football work at training pitch, though the key focus of his recovery at the moment is on continuing to strengthen his knee. Arsenal have been reluctant to put an exact time frame on the return of Jesus, but he has always been hopeful of being back on the pitch in time to still play a major role during the final stages of the season. And what people don't understand about this lad known as Jesus, it's simple. Jesus is a player that at any juncture comes in through the Arsenal team. He's really going to help them, because all of that huge run they've went through without being beaten, without losing a game, they've been with Jesus. I think with Jesus, they lost only one game of Manchester United and drew away at Southampton. And I think by the time we went to the World Cup break, Arsenal had played how many games? Were they 15? Because now the Premier League games Arsenal have played are 20, right? Arsenal have played 20 Premier League games. And after the World Cup, they played West Ham, Brighton, Newcastle, Tottenham Hotspur, Everton, and Manchester United 6, meaning that by the time we went to the World Cup, Arsenal had played 14 games. Out of the 14 games, they had won 12, drawn 1, and lost 1. Now, in the games, those were 14 games with Jesus. Now, without Jesus, Arsenal has played just 6 games. They've lost 1, drawn 1, and obviously won 4, meaning that the 5 points they lost when they are having Jesus, it was in 14 games. You get 14 games. But without having Jesus, in only 6 games, they've dropped 5 points. So it shows you how important it is. I think you've understood the importance of Jesus at Arsenal, that he played 14 games with Arsenal. They lost 1 and drew 1 in 14 games. Now, in his absentia, 6 games, Arsenal have lost 1 and drawn 1, meaning that the 5 points they lost, in 14 games with Jesus. They've gone ahead to play 6 games and they've lost those 5 games without Jesus. So it shows you how important this guy was and how he kept them going at the club of Arsenal. Let's go to Zinchenko. Now, Zinchenko is a player that was signed from Man City at £34 million, and obviously he is really doing wonders at Arsenal. Now, we've been told by the Arsenal website via arsenalbuzz.com that Zinchenko grabs Arsenal's player of the month for January with 48% of the votes. Edin Ketia was second and Martin Odegaard third. Let's see what the boys can do in February. That's it. Now, when you look at the month of January, Arsenal first played Newcastle. Did they play Newcastle on 1st or they played them on 31st? Then they went ahead to play Newcastle. They went ahead to play Tottenham Hotspur and they beat it by 2-0. Then they played Manchester United. They beat it by 3-2. Obviously, Zinchenko never scored any goal, but his impact has been appreciated, I think, for once, ever since he came in at Arsenal. I believe this was something that was really lingering around and taking long to be appreciated because the guy's efforts are really widely known by people. And I think the fans of Arsenal have not gone in for the goals because Edin Ketia in January, he scored a brace in the FA Cup. He scored a brace against Manchester United. So he has close to 4 or 5 goals in the month of January. But fans going in for Zinchenko and voting him for the player for the month of January, it's really something huge for him. And I believe that fans have really been so much on point when it came to this juncture, because I believe Odegaard is playing well. To me, is him, Jesus, Partey, Saliba, and Zinchenko are the best players at Arsenal. I think Saka comes 5th or 6th. You get? But Zinchenko being rewarded, I think it's good for him to be rewarded. And I believe the reason as to why he was rewarded to that level, because Bukayo Saka was not playing very well, but it looked like way back, if Saka was there scoring in goals, Arsenal fans are just drunk. They are just drunk in love with Zinchenko. That's it. Sorry, with Bukayo Saka. Even in the month of November and December, they went ahead to give that award to Bukayo Saka, yet Odegaard outplayed every player of Arsenal in that month. So I believe there is some mind stuckism in the fans of Arsenal, but I believe Zinchenko deserves to be really appreciated because he's doing things that are really taking Arsenal forward. The leadership skills, you saw him after the game of Manchester United. He told them we have to win, and he took us back when he came to the dressing room of Arsenal. He told them we are not here to play for the Champions League places. We are here to win the trophy. You get? So it shows you how much he's driving these players of Arsenal to the levels that maybe some of them couldn't really think they could really even achieve. Now, we are having Niza Kinsella, Chelsea correspondent for the Standard Sport, has really gone ahead and really hinted about N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante, towards the World Cup, he got an injury. He underwent a surgery and we thought he was going to come back in December. In December, he got a setback and he's back on the grass. I think he was back on the grass in mid-January. And Chelsea are really trying to see to it that they really tie him on a new contract. But we've been told by Niza Kinsella, correspondent of Chelsea for the Standard Sport, that N'Golo Kante is reluctant to accept a 2-year contract with an option of an extra year, with Chelsea midfielder hoping for a 3+1 deal. Now, N'Golo Kante, I don't know what teams of Chelsea are about. This is why I tell you that I'm not really sure, and I'm not really confident of the project that's going around at Chelsea. What's the reason of not letting N'Golo Kante go on a free? What is it? The guy is 30 plus. He's an injury-prone player. He has shown you, as Chelsea fans, that he's not available. He's not really available for the team. Now, what's the reason of you trying to give him a new contract of 2 years and another option here? What's the importance of doing that? injury prone as he is, and you're going to give him a lot of money, because I'm told he earns between £250,000 to £300 a month, sorry, a week. So he's 31 years of age, so you want to keep him here until he's 34. These injuries increase, the injury proneness of a player increases each and every time he reaches his 30s. Now, he's an injury prone ever since he hit 28 years. Now, look at what Chelsea are into, and will they fall into this trap or trickery of N'Golo Kante that he wants 3 years plus one year? That's out with an option 1 year. Toddy Boyle, go in for Declan Rice. There is Caicedo and very many others, and you've told us on several occasions that you are really in need of these players. But what have you done? You've just gone ahead to continue to stick in the past. The signing of Enzo Fernandez of £170 million was a statement signing that we are way off the past. We want to bring in players that are really young, that are really going to work with Graham Potter. I believe it's better you let N'Golo Kante go, because him to renew a contract, you're going to give him a sign-on fee of like £10 million. Then that salary of £300,000. You get? That means you are spending £1.2 million on him per month. That is close to £15 million a year times 3. That is £45 million plus the 10 that came in as sign-on fee. That is £60 million on a player. Why don't you get that amount of money, sign Caicedo or Declan Rice, and let N'Golo Kante live in peace? Because there is nothing more he's going to offer you as Chelsea is concerned with its dreams and plans. Let him go. You want young and fresh talent, go up for it, and don't really do the needful and really look at him. There are even links that he's going to go to Arsenal, but I believe Arsenal are way past that level. After bringing Jorginho, another 31-year-old player, they don't want to bring in a player that is really at that level of a player known as N'Golo Kante. And when you look at Chelsea, you need to accept that players like these are really rare to find, because they might see him as their Casemiro or their Thomas Partey. Casemiro is 30, Thomas Partey is 29, and Thomas Partey is proving not to be an injury-prone player. Unless otherwise, Chelsea have gotten assurance that this player is not going to be injury-prone, but if at all he's continuing to be injury-prone, then get him out. Manchester United is trying to let out Martial, talented, good player, but out of the 34 games, he has missed 20 games. N'Golo Kante, how many games has he played for Chelsea this season? Why do you keep him at the club? Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. So guys, your thoughts on Jesus returning are welcome in the comment section below. Zinchenko winning the award for the player of January at Arsenal. And lastly, your thoughts on N'Golo Kante reluctant to put pen to a deal that Chelsea has put on his table. May the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly. I'm out to United Matters channel to do the needful on the game of Manchester United. I'm out, my mates, and may the Almighty God bless you abundantly. Ciao, ciao.